Yo, JD here, Tyrrell Limmerson, as always, back on F1 2019, and we are back for a brand new league race. This is round 7 of TSRL. If you haven't seen my last race, that was at Canada, and the standings are up currently on the screen here, which was not a particularly great race for me. It really was not good. Didn't finish in the points. But you can see this is a full qualifying format. Q1 doing what I have been doing for the majority of the season. Just getting through of what's necessary. Don't have to get pole in the first 2 sessions, but just doing enough. And after last week's result in Canada, I was extremely motivated to stop making these stupid mistakes and to stop driving so cautiously and conservatively, because I feel at times I really have done that, and it's cost me big time on a couple of occasions this season where I feel I should be in the lead of this championship by a fair distance, I think, if some results that went my way. So I really wanted to make an amends of that. We got through to Q3 here, and approaching this track, Austria has never been a track that's been particularly great for me in the past. A lot of people say it's very easy. For me, I find it quite difficult to actually hook up, but practice went very well. And as I said, I really listened to you guys' comments, to be honest, and when I'm doing the live stream, to really kind of let myself go. And I really approached this race with a very calm, confident mentality, 1 point behind this championship. And I knew if I could get a good result here, I've got a string of tracks coming up that should be very strong for me. Tracks like Silverstone, Suzuka, Singapore. But this is my fastest lap I did in the session, and it's going pretty good so far. This is my opening lap I've done in Q3, so the first lap I did. Coming across the line, we go into the 1 minute freeze straight away, and that's quite a good banker. I've got another lap to do in this session, which you're just about to see now. So starting this last lap, going through into turn 1, hitting the 50-meter board, going down the inside, and we are slightly off track, and that gives me an invalid lap validation. And I'm currently in P4, so I was actually quite concerned that I'd drop down outside the top 5, because coming into this race, as I said, I felt my practice was very good, my mentality was very good, and quite often in the past when I've had a very bad race, I've really gone into the next race in the league, no matter what track it is, and I've always instantly just performed better. And sometimes it's what I need to really kind of just believe in myself a little bit more. I think at times, as I said, I just drive just way too cautiously and don't have enough belief in my ability. Where I feel when I'm driving on all cylinders, I'm very capable of getting very good results against any competition around any track. But you can see if this lap continued coming across the line, this would have been a 1 minute 3.7, almost a 6. And you know, when the lap's invalidated, it's a lot easier to push hard and take some risks. But my PB in practice was a 3.6, so I was kind of disappointed with a 3.9 there, because we're only less than a tenth away from pole position. But we are thankfully in the top 4, and I knew if I could just keep with the leaders, which I should be able to do as long as I get a good start and there's no incidents, then I felt my race pace was just seriously good around here. So we've got 4 lights, 5 lights here, trying to get a good start. So the lights go out now, get a little bit of wheel spins and not the ideal start. So that's putting me under a little bit of unnecessary pressure from Chandler, who's just come into the league, who's an absolutely rapid driver, I have to say. Especially at Monaco when he was practicing, he was rapid here. So we're going to go side by side of him. We've got Dylan in front of me as well, my teammate, who is a reserve driver and actually took the win at Monaco. So we're just trying to maintain position for now and just about do that. But yeah, Dylan, he's very quick, and that's a little bit inconvenient for me because I have to make sure I'm ahead of him going to the pit stop, because strategy is quite important around this track. But so far so good. And right now you can see we're not really using much ERS. Done 3 laps of this race, setting the quickest lap of the race as well in succession. And no, we've just gone under 80% and going back above again. So I really wasn't pushing too hard. I knew around here, unless I was in the lead, I knew I really had to plan my attack and be very, very tactical in how I really approach this race. Going through turn 1, I always seemed to get a very, very good exit, and as the laps went on, I started to creep up a little bit more towards the leaders, and I felt at this stage, I knew in practice, I practiced very, very hard for this race, did the first stint quite a few times, really looked after my tyres well, but I knew if I could just get ahead and broke the DRS, I felt I could pull away. And right now I'm just trying to really pick my moment, be very patient, because there are some times where I haven't been patient. But Dylan is going a little bit defensive, so I saw this as my opportunity to go down the inside, and we get the move done into P3, and fair play to him. He left me plenty of room there. I was expecting him to fight that a little bit harder, but I saw that as an opportunity. It wasn't a dive bomb or anything at all. He kind of just left the door open, to be honest, and we just slipped down the inside. And no, I knew you can't win the race in the first stint. It's going to be going pretty much almost to the wire, because we have, I think, 3 DRS zones around this track. So, and it's a very short track as well. It's going to be extremely hard to pull away. But I felt if I could get in a position where I did break the DRS of the people around me, I felt I could definitely do it. I felt I could pull away. And after a league race win in a social race at Silverstone last week, that definitely gave me some confidence as well. So right now I'm feeling extremely comfortable here, because we've got plenty of ERS and fuel to play with as well, and we always just got a very good exit of this turn 1, which is a very good place to be good around this track, because it's one of the main overtaking zones. So now Overkills is going down the inside of KJ Gamer here. Or no, it's not Overkills, it's BSR Antoine. Let me know if I got that right. I've been practicing it because after saying I'm Tony, just absolutely butchering his name. But they are going side by side, pretty much how the AI do around here. And I think you can tell already it's going to be a very, very tactical race where you have to make the overtake at the right time. And I was just constantly thinking ahead at this point. I was just constantly making sure I looked after my car, I didn't get any penalties, and making sure I was in the right position at the right time, not making any silly mistakes, wasn't focusing on the stream chat or anything. I was fully focused, but you can see that is a harsh reminder of just how easy it is to get a warning around here, which just made me really sharpen my focus even more. Going through this, just turn 1, and Antoine, has actually got a little bit of damage. It's actually gone out wide, and this is another opportunity to make up one other position, and this would be very, very good for me, because in the championship, KJ Gamer is not actually that far behind. So I go around the outside of the McLaren and hopefully getting some good traction. We get a pretty equal exit coming off here, but KJ is actually giving Antoine some actual slipstream going down to this corner, so it looks like he's going to beat me to it. I was thinking about going round the outside here, but I don't think it's really going to happen. It leaves me some room, but I just wasn't far enough alongside as my teammate actually starts to attack me here. So a little bit of test of waters to see what was really possible. I wasn't really looking to really make a do or die overtake there, but just kind of testing to see how easy it is to overtake, as Antoine's actually going to go into the pits, because he does have some wing damage, which you did see previously going through here. So we'll go around the outside, because the pit lane is a very awkward pit lane to go into on this track, and then KJ's actually got a little bit of a gap here, so we're going to have to actually close in on that. And the next lap, you can see how quickly we have closed in on this gap. So our pace, I was feeling probably the best I've done all season, as KJ goes into the pits, doesn't really abide by the pit lane entry line, but after the race I was told that we don't actually have to follow that, because you will be able to see when I come into the pits here, I'm being very strict coming into here, which I really actually didn't need to do, but I'm sure my teammate Dylan really appreciates that, as we almost lose the car coming to the pits, which again, this is a horrible, horrible pit lane to go into, but we actually probably lost. Although the in-lap was quite good, because I took the pits so cleanly, we've probably lost actually quite a bit of time going into here, but my plan was to always go at the end of lap 11, because the mediums, they do wear out at the end of the race, and you can see KJ and Overkills have actually gone through now with Chandler, who's actually made up a little bit of time with me as well. So you can see we've lost actually quite a bit of time on this undercut. And no, I always talk about how how much good pace I have in race pace. Now, this is the time to prove it. I don't have any DRS to kind of hide that or anything. Now, this is the time where I'm really going to have to flex my muscles and actually show what I really have got go around here. But to start the next lap, we have to be aware of my teammate who's coming out of the pits, because I've forced him to go an extra lap. Because he's come out right behind me, and I don't know if he took the pit lane cleanly, but I definitely lost a bit of time by doing what I did. But I felt that, well, I didn't realise I didn't need to do that, but I wanted to stick in the rules just in case. But you can see, manages to stay out ahead of him, and there's about a 2-second gap up to the guys ahead. But you can see on this lap alone, coming across the line, the gap is, I think, 1.4 seconds, so we're gaining quite a bit of time already. And yeah, we always got a good exit coming off here, and we just started really just pumping in the laps in. I think we're going to stay on board of how much time or what a typical lap really looks like. You can see going for his first sector, they pull away a little bit because they got the DRS, and DRS is just super powerful in this game. If you just keep switching positions with someone, you can effectively not lose any time, save ERS, and just drag each other along. But it was through this middle sector and the last sector, you can see very committed on the brakes going for here. No sign of cautious driving on this occasion, but it's mainly through this last sector that I was very, very strong, and you'll be able to see I was really pushing the car. And coming through here, we made up another 3 tenths through this middle sector, and see, using our ERS pretty efficiently as well. But you'll be able to see going through this last corner, absolutely just throwing the car in there. We are just really, I knew that I had to get in DRS as soon as I possibly could. Otherwise, my teammate would probably pass me because he's probably the same lot of ERS. And as a result of that, I've actually dragged him along to do the fastest lap of the race. But we're getting so much closer to the guys ahead now. But you can see my ERS is running out pretty quickly. But moving on towards the end of lap 15, we have actually got in the DRS zone whilst keeping my teammate behind. So this race pace, as I said, is coming to life here, and I honestly couldn't have been driving any better at this point, because in my mind I just thought, if I don't get DRS, my teammate go battle, which is going to allow them to get away, and any chance of a race win, which I haven't had this season yet, would probably be diminished. So it's very, very important. So we slowly started to creep up on the 2 guys ahead, and I'm comfortably in the DRS zone. So now, as long as I get some good exits coming off here, which I do, I knew this would be a good time to actually start saving some ERS. And you can see we're going gradually back down here. But towards the end, or to start of lap 20 here, we get a fantastic exit coming off turn 1. We always got a very, very good exit. But you can see the straight line speed of KJ Gamer. Since he has DRS on overkills, it's got to be almost impossible to actually overtake him. So I knew, like the first stint, I couldn't really sit behind in net P3. I had to make sure towards the end of the race that I'd be at least in P2, so the guy ahead would not have any DRS. So that was what I was really thinking at this stage. But also remembering just to take my time, be patient. I have the fresher tyres out the 2 guys ahead of me as well. But we are coming up on quite a bit of traffic. I think a lot of people on hard tyres who haven't pitted this race yet. And almost forgot to mention that the championship leader, Jam Pancakes, is out the points right now. He's had a horrendous race so far, but coming through this penultimate corner here, some cars are completely in the middle of the road, and don't know what on earth has just happened there. We had to take completely avoiding action. My teammate has become a casualty in that. I do not know what has happened to him, but coming through here again into this penultimate corner, my heart at this moment was just completely in my mouth. And we had, luckily, some quite good reactions, and my teammate, unfortunately, I'm not sure if he got collected by myself. I did everything I could. I have no idea what happened there, but we managed to make it through. And in a way, this has really helped me because I have no pressure from behind. Chandler is out the DRS zone, and now it's looking like it's going to be a straight fight between us 3 for this race win. But this kind of reminds me of when I do my 110% AI videos, because these 2 are just slipstreaming each other, and since I'm the 3rd guy and the guy ahead of me has got slipstream, unless they make a mistake, it's just going to be so hard for me to try and win this race. So I knew I had to be in P2 at some point. I knew I had to get past one of these guys, and if I could break the DRS, then I thought that would be enough in terms of the pace I showed, because I caught them from over 2 seconds back when they were DRSing and slipstreaming each other, and I had to use all my ERS. I knew it would be possible as long as I could get that gap. But you can see, skipping on to the next lap, the same story again, and I was starting to become a little bit concerned that this was really, this could be the theme until the end of the race, where I'm just watching them two overtake each other and there's nothing I can do at all. So I was becoming a little bit more frustrated, but just still saying to myself that the moment will come. I just need to wait for it, and I thought this would be a moment here, so I'm going to try and make my move on overkills, going around the outside here, but I was quite surprised. There was just zero grip whatsoever, so I'm going to try again going around the outside, but there is just no grip at all. So I thought at this stage I really just have to try and just force him into a mistake. I'm just trying to put him under as much pressure as I possibly can going through into here. I was very good coming off this last corner as well. We still only have one warning in this race, so we do have another lifeline, but he gets such an insane exit coming off that corner with the DRS. But going through turn 1, my strongest corner on the track, get a very good exit. He makes a little mistake on the exit, so this is another opportunity. I knew it was pretty much now or never. I have to overtake him now. So going into the inside, like my teammate in the first sentence, we're always going to the back of KJ Gamer. We go into P2, not making any contact with overkills. Fair play to him again. Now, the racing has been extremely hard, so I have to defend. Before even thinking about it, I have to go super defensive here because I can't afford to lose his position. But I was just saying, fair play to him. Like my teammate did in the first stint, he left me plenty of room here. So the racing's been very hard, but very fair. And that was a move I just absolutely had to make. And now we're in a very good position with 12 or 11 and a bit laps to go in this race. We're in a very, very good position to try and challenge for this win. And on the end of that 26, we've already got onto the back of KJ Gamer. And I thought, let's see what this pace is like out ahead of him. Let's see if I can do something. So I'm going to go down the inside. And I didn't expect him to defend this. As we're going a little bit deep, he actually makes a bit of contact with me before the corner. Because we haven't had a good history recently. I knew it had to be defensive once again. But I just wanted to really see if I could just keep this position going down into here. I just wanted to see if I could actually pull away now. So we've got a few laps to really try this out. And if it doesn't work, then I would have to think towards the end of the race where I have to save my fuel in the ERS. So right now, I'm just thinking about trying to just pull away from him as much as I possibly can. But the problem with this game, as I know a lot of you guys will know, being in the lead is not the best place to be really in this game, because you're just going to be expending so much fuel and so much ERS, and we're actually getting quite low on the fuel as well, less than half a lap of fuel in here, so we have to be cautious. So I've really taken a bit of risk with this turn 1, and you can see he gets a very poor exit, or we just get an absolutely insane exit, and I thought this would be my chance to just see, but you can just see the straight line speed of the DRS is just absolutely insane, trying to get a good exit. But the problem is there's another DRS zone coming on the exit this corner, and we're putting an overtake, and I started to realise that probably really wasn't going to work. So we're coming off this corner, we get another good exit, but I'm not really going to fight this too hard whatsoever. So go put back down to lean and no ERS, but we managed to actually maintain the position going through into there. I wouldn't have really minded if he actually overtook me on that occasion. He's going to try and come at me once again. I'm going to go defensive, and the reason why I did this rather than just let him pass, because I just wanted to see if I was in this position on the last lap of how easy would it be to defend from here. So this is kind of a testing game until the last 2 laps, because nothing really means anything until those last 2 laps. But going through into turn 1 now, we get a pretty good exit off there, but this time he's a bit closer, and I thought, what, my ERS is getting quite low, and the fuel as well. We're just going to let him go, so we're not going to fight this position at all here, and we're just going to save as much fuel and ERS. You can see, put it back down to no ERS and lean mix. I wasn't interested in overtaking him, not until really the penultimate lap. That was my plan, but as you can see, overkills actually almost went into the back of me coming off that corner there. So the next few laps was just to save the ERS as much as I possibly could, and we're going to stay on board now until the end of this race, because this is one of the best endings that I've had. So now I'm seeing this as my opportunity. He is going defensive because I think he knows if I get past him, I've already proved on a few occasions that I can actually maintain this lead going through into turn 1. We get a very good exit coming off here, and this should be a pretty easy move going down into this right-hander, and this is exactly the position where I wanted to be, because as I said, I felt that as long as I get a good exit of turn 1, I felt I had enough pace to maintain this lead, and I felt I had enough ERS and fuel at this stage to actually just keep myself in the lead position. I actually wanted to be in the lead going into the last lap, which I know sounds crazy, but I thought, I've only got one warning. Even if I have a warning on turn 1, as long as I get a very good exit, it should be job done. I'm going through into here now. So I was just asking Jeff if he had any penalties behind me, and he's going to come back to me and say that he has no penalties as well. And now, updating Jam Pancakes, I think he's still outside the points at this stage in the race, but KJ, he's only about 10 points behind me in the championships. So we're going to go defensive here because I didn't want him to get the lead. I really wanted to keep the lead. So we'll leave some room on the outside as well. But we get a very good exit. So I try and give some slipstream to overkills, but it doesn't work in this occasion. And I thought as long as I just keep doing this, then the race is going to be there for the taking. I felt so confident on my exit coming off turn 1. I thought as long as I just keep it neat and tidy and maintaining the ERS like I am now, which I am, as long as I have near 60%, then we're in a very, very good position here. And I think my ERS management has just been probably the best it has been all season so far this race. And you're also probably wondering as well why there is no safety car, and that's because it has been turned off because the majority of the drivers after Canada decided to turn it off. But going back to this, you can see we have got a very big lead going into turn 1 as well. So this is the penultimate lap of the race. Again, getting a very nice exit coming off this corner, but the DRS is immensely powerful going down into here. So he should have almost an opportunity to move. So go about semi-defensive, but he tries to go down the inside. So we have to give him some room here. But if we give him some room, that actually compromises his line. And we just keep on getting a good exit. So I thought if I just keep doing that for the last lap, it's game over. It'll be absolutely fine. But going into here, we go deep, and we actually get a little bit of oversteer on the exit, and he has got an absolutely amazing exit. He goes down the inside for this left-hander, and in my mind, I was thinking, should I fight this or not? And I thought, you know what? No, just leave it, because if I just get a good exit off that turn 1, we've got plenty of ERS to play with as well. It will be fine. But you can see he is definitely harvesting some ERS now, because he must be struggling on some. And no, I didn't want to be behind into this last lap, but I thought there was no point really fighting that at all because I'd just be wasting so much energy. So now all the focus is just getting on a very good exit coming off here and going off this turn 1. It is not a good exit. That is probably the worst exit that I've had this race so far. We don't even get into the slipstream, and now he is going to have to defend going into this corner. He goes super defensive. We go round the outside, but we go for the switchback. He goes really slow on the apex, and this is not what I wanted at all, but luckily we have a DRS line, and we're going to go leave it in hot lap. Wasn't even paying attention. Go round to the outside. We're going to outbrake him round the outside, second gear into it, and we're going to get the move done on the inside for the next left-hander. He's side by side of me, and we get the move done back into the lead of this race. And I can tell you right now that my heart was just absolutely just pumping at this stage, and we have enough ERS to defend with. All I have to do is just not get a penalty going through here. You can see we didn't even use the curb, wasn't going to take the risk going through here, and coming out of the final corner, we are going to win the Austrian Grand Prix in TSRL, and that is me back in the lead of this championship. And man, that race was, I've lost my voice at the end of this video because I still don't know what to say after watching that. That was, you can watch it back on my live stream in full if you wish, but that was a very, very tense league race, and probably one of the best tactical and best probably the calmest league race I've done in terms of the decisions I made, and that was just absolutely epic. Fair play to KJ, to Overkills, to Antoine. Amazing racing from those guys. And yeah, that was just absolutely awesome. And I hope you guys enjoyed that one. That was probably one of my best league races that I've ever done in my entire life. I will be throwing up the commentated version of the last lap as well if you want to watch that. I'll put that on the screen in a few seconds. But here are the race results. And yeah, man, that was just epic. Absolutely epic. And yeah, no words to describe that. Thank you so much. Next race will be at Silverstone this Friday, tomorrow. Make sure you stay tuned for that. And I will catch you soon. Peace.
To defend as well. He didn't get a very good exit from turn 1 on that occasion. Will that be his undoing towards the end of this race? Although saying that, Limitless has just got wide as well. He's going to have to defend KJ down the inside. Oh, he's made the move stick in the middle sector. Limitless gets the cutback. Will he send it down the inside? No, he doesn't. Not quite. Now can Overkill maybe get in on this mix? No, Limitless is using the ERS he's just saved up to maybe get back ahead of KJ. 1 lap to go when we hit the line this time. We're going to go into the final corner. KJ backs them all up very quickly there. Overkill, he's maybe hoping that Overkill gets past Limitless here and tries to take the pressure off of KJ. One more time around this Austrian Grand Prix. Can Limitless get past KJ? KJ weaves down the straight. Overkill trying to get front Limitless as well. Will Limitless dive? He's going to have to go to the outside. He breaks early. KJ goes deep, and here goes Overkill. Oh my goodness, he could take them both here. Overkill fighting for the slipstream with KJ. With Limitless, KJ's going to switch to the inside. There's contact. Limitless to the outside. Side by side between the two championship leaders. Oh my goodness, Limitless has got there around the outside. He's down the inside for the next corner. KJ's going to try and hold it. He can't do it. He's going to try and get the undercut. Final sector of this race. Will he send it in the final couple of corners? Limitless has made the overtake in the very final moments of this race. Overkill's all over the back of KJ. KJ's going to have the last few corners of his life, and he's on a big slide. He can't do it. Limitless is going to take the Austrian Grand Prix with an overtake on the final lap.